and Janet Dutton. My name is Emily, and I will be the academic moderator for this presentation. Competitors will have a maximum of 23 minutes to present. Our academic timekeeper, Sunana, will hold up timing cues throughout the presentation to indicate the beginning and ending of protected time. During the unprotected time, judges may ask questions. Once the presentation has concluded, the delegates will be escorted to leave the room. No questions or comments will be permitted from the audience at any time. Please ensure that your cell phones are turned off and that there is no talking amongst yourself or signaling to the competitors throughout their presentation. Competitors, you are free to begin.
Morning! Creative Saskatchewan. Oh, I've always wanted to do that. It's one of my favorite movie references, and given the circumstances of why we're here today, I thought it was appropriate. My name is Ryan, I'm the CEO of Hotspot. I'm here today with Kobe, our CFO, and Anushka, our COO. And today we are asking you for $285,000 for 20% of our organization. I want to ask you a question. Who here is from a small town? Okay, good to see. Lots of small towners here. Now, I'm not from a small town, but I was fortunate enough to have an experience playing hockey in one. And man, let me tell you, our bus leaves for playoffs, the whole town comes out to support. Everyone is there for the big event. You know what else are some pretty cool events is making movies. But they're not necessarily done in where we believe they can be. So what we want to do is introduce the range of Saskatchewan's people to an experience that they may have not experienced before. The film industry in Saskatchewan is a diamond in the rough. We see three key problems with production, the industry, and utilization, being that finding sites is very difficult and a lengthy process. Loss of those key financial incentives that have once again returned caused almost $20 million in deficits to this industry. And Saskatchewan is full of opportunities, not only in the land, but within the people, the community that are so passionate about where they live. We have to you today an agency that assists producers in Canada locate film sites and match it with locations using AI when they upload their script. So what we are going to be doing as a team is going to these places in Saskatchewan outside of Regina and Saskatoon and getting deeper into the culture. We're going to be going to towns such as Moose Jaw, Weybourne, Melfort, and 27 others, bringing them onto our team to develop a catalog of why their community can be a great place to set up for filming. When producers visit our site or our agency, they will upload a Dropbox of their script, and then our AI algorithm, based on that script, will show them locations, different sites, props, people that can be used within their film, and it will be ranked in order of costs.
Diving into our target market, we identified this as a double-sided market where we will need partnerships for building this catalog that we're looking to build. And also, we're looking at film producers who will use our product ultimately. So diving into our client, we're looking at city councils like Melfort, Saskatchewan, where we are looking to help them tap into an untapped market in the film industry. We're looking to help them drive their revenues from market externalities. We're looking at seeing be promoted and building tourism as well as an externality effect from this industry. In terms of film producers, we're looking at small budgetary film producers from 1 to 3 million who are looking to cut costs right now because currently they have really high costs of per day renting these locations, such as $35,000.
Within North America, $505 billion is spent on the film industry every year. Now, the area that we're targeting in the film industry specifically is within location scouting. And for this, $1.5 million will be spent in 2027, $300 million of which towards locations such as ones that you will find in Saskatchewan. Now, in 2027, we believe that we will achieve a revenue of $2.1 million. So now that you know the problems that we're solving, the solution that we've created with HotSet, the customers that we're serving, the municipalities, and the production companies, I would love to answer a question that I'm sure is top of mind for all of you. How are you going to make money? So, we charge a fee every time a contract is negotiated between a municipality to have filming and a production company to film there. Essentially, we take a similar approach to Airbnb, where we charge a 3%. We charge 3% of that initial contract. On average, we believe each of these contracts will be around $50,000. And in 2024, we will have 100 contracts, which will have $1,800 per contract, which will result in $180,000 in revenue just next year. We're going to be selling primarily through our website and by reaching out to producers directly. At this time, I'd love to pass on to Anushka, who will explain more about how we're going to be selling it.
So, looking into our go-to-market, we divided this into 3 different phases, starting with our pre-launch, launch, and growth. We're looking at our pre-launch phase by developing this catalog and also the AI system that will support this search. And we're looking to build our team so that we can actually build our website, a team of videographers, photographers, and location scout, so that we can actually build this catalog. We're also looking to develop relationships during this time with Saskatchewan City Council members. In terms of launch, we're looking at building our online catalog. Now, we are looking at having at least 30 small towns onto our location catalog, starting with Regina and Saskatoon. In terms of marketing, we're looking at having search engine optimization for our website, such that it is top multi-film producers search. And cold calls to reach out to these city council members, as well as website marketing for promoting our website. We're looking at growth opportunities in terms of talent acquisition as well as set development, and also exploring other geographic expansions for building our catalog further outside of Saskatchewan.
Now, if there's no further questions at this time, we would just like to continue towards our ask, but the floor is open.
I'd like to ask, why specifically are you targeting only 30 small towns and not one?
Yeah, that's actually a great question that we believe right off the start, we want to target these 30 small towns in order to get a good proof of concept. We know that Saskatchewan has almost as many small towns as Manitoba does have lakes, and we would love to bring them into our system and create Saskatchewan to be entirely itself a hot set. But yeah, no further questions right now. Oh yeah,
so you're
go ahead, sir.
$1,800 a contract, I think it said. What does a contract look like? Is that based on a successfully chosen location by the film producers?
Yes, that's a great question. I appreciate you bringing that forward. If that was unclear, I do apologize. So the contracts are contracts for locations and eventually contracts to acquire like actors and individuals who will be starring in the productions themselves. So every time a film producer wants to go to a location and really film there, they have to pay a fee. Typically that fee is about $35,000 per day. And typically it takes about a day and a half to 2 days really to get that filming done. And these contracts are typically around $60,000, $70,000. We're going to be taking about 3% of these contracts and using them towards our own revenue so that we can begin to make money.
Yes, sir.
So if you can just walk us through the relocation under contracts and how you come up, and then how are you targeting the small producers $1 to $3 million? How does all these numbers work?
Right, so I can take that. We're looking at small producers because we see currently them as the biggest market in terms of untapped market. Because we see that small producers currently have very limited budget constraints, and so we want to support them. And we see this as a very useful way to actually get started and have a proof of concept where we can continue to build further so that we can expand our market to even larger producers later down the line. Why we chose 30 locations at first, we see that 30 locations would be a good start to build our catalogs. We're approximating for each location to have at least 5 to 7 set locations so that we can have at least about 180 to 200 locations in our catalog when we launch.
And what does city councils have to do with
So we believe that when we go to these city councils, we want them to help us guide them around what they believe would be the best to go for this. So we see we're leveraging 3 fundamental key pillars in this opportunity: the community base in Saskatchewan, the government grants, and the vast opportunities and facilities within these towns. The reason why we're going to city council themselves is because if they sign the contract with us, then that means that producers can't go behind our backs and go film at these locations. they, once these communities are with us, then all the filming that is done is there because we will be kind of their marketing catalyst to get them there. Additionally, the crews, people, the participation from the town is going to really bolster, not only create jobs, but economic activity within those towns. So that's why we are going there.
Okay, so as a risk mitigation strategy company?
Yeah.
Just to follow up on that question, filming in a small town, you're likely going to be dealing with private small businesses, private land. Is it on the municipalities, or are you guys going to help negotiate those, or is it on the municipalities? Sort of those.
Yeah, see,
that might come up there.
yeah, that's why we do want to build strong relationships with the municipalities. That's actually two great risks that we have identified. Firstly, the communities won't want to participate. We believe it's low just because of the tremendous economic benefit that we will be able to bring them. We are going to be meeting with those decision makers to make sure that isn't the case, but if not, we can also pivot and focus on those privately owned businesses themselves.
So when the producers drop their script to find locations, is there a pre-contract set? How would you, like, monitor the progress? Like, you know, I'm a producer, I just drop and I found the location and I don't need you anymore, I can do myself. Is there a pre-contract set with the council or like with whoever dropped in that case?
Yes, so what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be going to these city councils and we're gonna have to be signing them to exclusivity contracts. Now, exclusivity contracts may seem slightly unreasonable, however, we do believe that it is actually perfectly reasonable because these small towns are towns that really are not active in the film industry at this point, and this is gonna be an avenue for them to enter. We also do wanna go to some bigger cities eventually. Those ones won't be as exclusive contracts, but we do plan to have some contracts in place with them, and we won't only have contracts in place with them, but also the producers who will have an understanding that if they're looking for services on our site, they will have to pay a 3% fee on their contract.
So that $35,000 fee that you're expecting as an average daily fee, is that going directly to the owner of the location that will be videoed on, or is some of it going to be going to the city council?
So the we mentioned was actually an approximate that they are currently paying to these site managers for current day rent for their shooting. What we are doing is actually undercutting this cost, and that is why we are bringing low-cost budget film producers to actually benefit from this, as we are providing these site locations at a much lower cost for them. That is why we believe that we will help them save costs.
And if you kind of think of it in terms of Airbnb, the producers are the people looking for a home, the towns are the ones with the home, and we are the platform kind of connecting them together and making that possible.
Okay, but just on that note, if you're bringing it at a lower cost and you're charging a 3% fee, then the amount that you get per contract wouldn't be $1,800?
So we charge per contract for them to set up with us, and then we also get a 3% share on the revenues that they make from using their location. The reason, go ahead.
So likely a lower average daily rental then?
Yes,
Okay.
for them, yes,
Just to confirm.
yes. So we're gonna just quickly go through the rest until our ask, and then we're gonna go through some additional things as well. So the film landscape across Canada, you know, there's quite a big industry here, BC, Manitoba, Ontario, and Saskatchewan. We believe with the backlog, availability, and cost, that is really what does set us apart, and especially with our increased quality. We are going to be leveraging connections with production companies and utilizing them to make sure that we are building the most connections and making Saskatchewan the most attractive place to film. We are the only digital agency that is going to be using AI to empower location scouts to find locations super easily just by uploading a PDF into our Dropbox. It's as simple as that. They will have prompts with all different kinds of sites, features, landmarks. Our solution is very scalable across Canada and North America. We believe that this could be something that goes completely global. AI does create this process to be super easy, and with the complexity of how AI is nowadays, with the solution already existing, the implementation for us will be quite simple. And I think what really drives it home here in Saskatchewan is that we are going to be driving business within those local economies, something that is super important to our province.
So to today, we would like to ask you once again for $285,000 for 20% of our company so that you can help us turn Saskatchewan into a hot set. Now, in 2023, we're going to be in 30 locations, which is going to allow us to really shift from prototype to MVP. In 2024, our product will be launched and will begin to sell. And in 2026, just about a year and a half after launching, we will break even. And in 2027, we will finally give you an opportunity to exit with 8 times your initial investment.
Further into our implementation plan, we're looking at our pre-launch, starting with the development of our AI and catalog. So we're looking at actually using the location scouts and the videographers to actually help us build this catalog, and simultaneously we'll be using machine learning to actually develop the AI system. And we're looking at building the relationships, as we mentioned, with those city council members. Our milestone for this is we're looking at a 98% effectiveness for suggested locations by the AI system. For testing, we're looking at testing this AI-based system using the script input that producers can actually drop into our system, and they will see the suggested locations automatically. We're looking at having our MVP ready by the end of quarter 3, 2023. And for awareness, we're looking at having marketing cold calls to reach these city council members to build these partnerships. And we're also looking at website marketing to actually promote these Saskatchewan locations that we'll be beautifully shooting to develop these documented series. Going further into our launch, we're looking at having a sales of at least, when we start, having 30 locations onto our catalog. Marketing will continue having the same marketing. We're going to have outbound and inbound marketing to continue further and develop those connections. For feedback, we're looking at having our milestone to be the number of approved locations. We see that 75% of the having approved locations is a good KPI to measure the success of our AI system. And we're going to constantly use this to improve our system. We're looking at marketing costs of $100,000 during this phase.
Did you say that you're using?
No, we're actually building the system using the machine learning that we're actually scouting, and we're building this to feeding data into our system to build this AI.
But this time, I would love to walk you through our financials. Can you just go back? Yes. So in 2023, it should be noted that we will have a small amount of revenue. And the reason for this is we really want to make sure that you're getting the most out of your investment possible. In fact, the 3 of us, rather than using the AI, we're going to try and function and see how the AI should work itself by getting on calls ourselves with producers, which will enable us to really get contracts with them. In 2023-5, we're going to break even. And if you can move to the next slide. So in revenue, one of our key assumptions is that our average contract size is going to increase over time. Now, this is for a couple of reasons. Firstly, we're going to be going after bigger studios after we've developed a reputation among smaller ones and really have ourselves as a brand name in location scouting. Secondly, there will be inflation, and then this market is just going to be growing. So it's also going to cost about $35,000 per day to film, but we understand that there will be a bit lower cost in this market, probably around $25,000 to $30,000 per day.
And just before we move on, any last questions as we go? If not, we can just let Kobe continue with the financials.
Any other big assumptions other than the fact that the cost will grow?
Oh, yeah.
Or the contract size will grow, sorry.
Any other? On here, no, but as we keep progressing forward, we will see a few more. So in our cost of goods sold, one of our key assumptions is firstly is that our cost of goods sold is actually going to be primarily the Amazon Web Services. Sorry, this is actually an outdated slide. I unfortunately forgot to update it. So our primary cost of goods sold is Amazon Web Services, which is where we'll be running our AI platform based off of, using it for database processing and all of the other computer needs that we have. We're also going to be having costs for maintenance and support, which is going to be integral to ensuring that users are able to use properly, and if you can move forward. So in regards to headcount, it's going to be essential that we hire 3 software developers in our first year, which are going to really just build the product for us. In regards to sales and marketing, we're really going to be starting with just us. And then in 2024, we're going to be hiring some individuals, both for sales and marketing, and so that we can really grow our operations and scale and make sure that things are operating properly. We move forward. And in our income statement, what you'll see is that we've accounted for a variety of costs, including the operational costs, sales and marketing, our executive salaries, legal, and insurance. And for cash flow statement, we should note is that we have, thankfully, have already secured $80,000 in investments from friends and family. And we will be applying for grants such as IRAP and SHRED, which we will be able to apply for because we are creating an innovative product which will enable us to really ensure that those grants get accomplished.
If you go back one slide to wages and salaries, the wages of the 3 executive team doesn't change through the next 5 years, so you said 40,000. Is that going to be enough to keep the executive team incentivized throughout the growth of the company?
100%. We believe that we're going to be looking at quite a big exit opportunity. We believe in our team putting the work in early gets the job done later. And yeah, that's all we want to do. We do believe that we're highly motivated just because of how much potential we see in such an untapped diamond in the rough.
Yeah. And then it's also critical that we're going to be maintaining at least $20,000 in remaining cash balance at all times.
If there's no further questions right now, she might be putting her hand up soon, so I'll just go over these last 2 risks that we didn't touch on earlier. So there is a risk always with AI that it fails to make accurate assumptions. Our mitigation will be that we are going to be watching all the catalog submissions and creating tags on them to make it easy for the AI to filter through popular language within film. Additionally, we are going to be leveraging existing AI, like OpenAI, but we are going to be customizing it specifically to the film industry, as that's where we do see AI going. Right now it's very general, but in the future AI is going to be very custom towards a certain experience. If that doesn't go as planned, we will get humans to analyze the videos and create write-ups on locations and provide submissions, but that is highly unlikely. Lastly, producers don't want to partner with us. This is medium risk. Our mitigation is to contract with the location owners themselves, similar to kind of how we're going to be working around if the municipalities don't go forward with us. And if not a contingency at the end of the day, we will become our own production company and utilize small towns, and that will be our niche.
Yes, so today, once again, we would like to ask for $285,000 for 20% of our company, which is going to allow you to exit with 8 times your investment in 2027, and help turn Saskatchewan into a hot set. Now, the way that we'll be making money is a model similar to Airbnbs. We have 2 sides. We have the municipalities and other site managers who will be providing the locations. We have the producers who need the locations to film their movies, and we'll be taking a 3% fee on the contracts between these based on our existing exclusivity contracts with them otherwise.
Looking at our go-to-market, we're looking at finally actually expanding further into talent acquisition as well as set development to actually capitalize on the extensive market that is available in this opportunity.
So we do see key problems here today: production, industry, and utilization, and we really want to drive it home that Saskatchewan is a hidden gem in the film industry with a lot of promise, especially within small towns. We see that our solution through AI, having the ability to produce catalogs and marketing for these small towns, an easy, user-friendly solution for producers, and an AI-powered suggestion tool that makes that process very streamlined. Our mission is to involve all of Saskatchewan in the film industry and untap in this market, and our vision is to turn Saskatchewan not only into the Hollywood of Canada,